Yespixel episode 2, joined today by our guest Dafront, who plays Riv, the EMS guy in NoPixel. And today we are sponsored by water. It's a human right. Go to hell, Nestle.
It's wet. That shit's so wet.
That's true. It's so wet. Bro, you ever get wet? You ever get wet before?
Wait, we'll talk about that on the... Good.
Yo, actually,
What's
speaking
up?
of getting wet, sorry, I'm just glossing over Dafront real quick. Dude, I'm going floating tomorrow on the river.
Okay.
This is a giant river. We're going floating. I'm just really excited about it. That's why I'm not letting the guys talk right now. I just thought you guys would like to know. I'm super excited. I've pre-made some dark and stormies. We got big dark Kraken rum, ginger beer, lime. It's gonna be good, bro.
What? Okay, real quick. What exactly is floating? I think I know, but I want you to tell me.
That's where you take like big inner tubes and you go floating down a giant glacial river in the hot sun and get drunk as fuck.
Okay, so that's what I thought, but I recently learned what soaking was. So I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't like some kind of weird like correlation between floating and soaking that maybe I just didn't. I just want to confirm. Okay,
is soaking the? Okay, let's get clear what soaking is. All right.
Hey, Riv, could you tell us what soaking is?
All right. So I think soaking is when you. How PG can I? Is this?
Say whatever you want to say. It's fine.
All right. I'm pretty sure soaking is when you stick your dick in somebody and you just leave it in there.
So God doesn't.
That's soaking.
Because he's like a velociraptor and his vision is based on movement.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not what soaking is? Do we need an urban dictionary?
That's what I learned.
Nailed it.
Exactly how I learned. And then I learned that there's a friend. So you get a real homie to come by
the
and
bed
jump
jumper.
on the bed.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's not you making the movement. So you're
listen,
safe
if an
from
earthquake
God's
happens,
wrath.
or you pay your boy $10 to jump on the bed while you're inside your boy, you know what I'm saying? Dafront.
What up?
How's it going, man?
Dafront, dude. It is. I'm so happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I was thinking about this for a few days. I was like, I have so many questions for this guy.
Dude, thanks for being our first guest too. This is really nice. We had a lot of options. Coil, 5-0 Antho, Moon, so many people just lining up and dude,
many people.
We just picked you. We were like, dude, gotta be Riv. I mean, if we go down, he will pick us up. Gotta be Riv.
Okay, so that's something I want to touch on too, because you're calling him Riv.
Oh yeah,
that's his character's name. That's not his name.
Yeah, I do that. That's bad.
And
yeah,
I think
right.
a lot of people do that too.
Do other people call you Riv out of character? Dafront?
I get front or Riv. Those are the two.
Okay. Does it ever feel weird when somebody, because I played Stanky Leg for a long time and people still come into my stream and call me Stanky Leg, and dude, it cringes me out a little bit.
Oh, I still call you Hyena Block.
That I like. I like that. That's personal. That's affectatious. That's like nice, right? I really enjoy that.
Okay. Dafront.
Yo!
Oh, there he is.
Look at that!
What up?
There he is.
Oh, the man.
I wanted to fix it. Are you okay if I quickly,
Yeah.
I'll be right. All right. But I got it working.
Press that shit out, man.
Excellent. All right. Dafront. I want to know how you got into NoPixel or just GTA roleplay in general. What kicked it all off? Maybe who you watched or like who inspired you to kind of get to where you are.
So I used to watch Soda popping a lot. Then he got into GTA RP. He did some Kevin Whippaloo stuff at Burger Shot. Found that really entertaining. Yeah, watched that until like he stopped, and I was like, man, I want to keep watching this GTA RP stuff. Who's cool? Then I found Penta and his Jordan Steele character, which is just oh my god.
That's great.
Of course, you were inspired by Jordan Steele. I love it.
It's just so fucked up what he does. It's just, it's. I'm not gonna say it's great, but it's great.
It is pretty great. I think Penta's ability to like toe the line of what's acceptable and not, whilst using that as often, not always, but often as like an example of satire to sort of poke fun at the server, I think is really good. I mean, that was like the origin of Mike Block, right? Is like, oh, everybody's being a shithead criminal. I'm gonna be the shittest head of criminal. I don't know if that's how you say that, but it's how we're saying it now.
He's a boundary pusher, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the dude's fucking amazing.
I'm glad
I don't watch many Twitch streamers consistently, but it's always Penta.
Okay, okay. Nice.
Hey, did we just find out the real identity of JD Wynn?
I think we did. I think we know it.
That him?
Send it, clip it, ship it, boys.
The ultimate Oiler?
Oh, that guy. He fucking donates so much. It took me a while to like remember him.
He's never been to my channel.
That's cool. So when exactly did you get whitelisted on NoPixel?
Yeah.
I think it was around February. So like after watching Jordan Steele for a bit, I was like on YouTube and I was like, what the hell is EMS Bob?
Oh god.
Binged that for 3 days. I'm like, you know what?
It's all starting to make sense.
So good. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
I think I want to play on this server if I can do EMS Bob stuff.
So that would have been 2021, like early 3.0.
Yeah, very early. Early.
Yeah, it was
3.0.
pretty early. EMS Bob, well, for those that don't know, in early 3.0, which was like the third iteration of NoPixel, where everybody had to start fresh, Penta played an EMS character who was just absolutely hilarious. He would just do some wild... I think eventually he ended up having like no arms and no legs or something. Like, it got wild. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Front, I have a question for you. You have a character in prison named R.D. Emmer.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I was about to show you guys a clip. Here, let me find it again. I just removed it for a second.
So that is the first time I met you.
Me too.
We were on the Littlemans. We went to prison, and we meet this armless guy who is doing roleplay like I've never seen before. And this is something that I think I can say with every character that I've met, except for Toby. Come on, you're gonna step it up with Toby. Every single character has pushed the roleplay front when I've met them. They're doing stuff that I don't think anybody else is either brave enough to do or just not creative enough.
Or dumb enough to do. Yeah.
I want, like, in roleplay, I want all my characters to stand out. Like, I don't want to be like generic. I want them to like be different. Something that really sets them apart from others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think you definitely have accomplished that. Sorry.
So before we watch this clip, one of my questions about R.D. Emmer is his name and sort of the whole way that you play him and your other characters. Sort of, we were talking about towing the line, sort of toes the line of OOC a lot of the time. Like, you and I have had full-blown, deliberate OOC conversations, like, for comedy. Do you ever worry that you go OOC too much and you might be punished for it someday?
Never.
No,
I know. So I know admins like to follow people around, and I'm getting a feeling I have been getting followed around. Let's see what else. But yeah, I don't think I'll be punished for that stuff.
Okay.
I'd have to like actually upset people to the point where they like actively report, and that's when they have to take like effect on stuff.
Do you think that's because you're good at reading the room, or because you're like very funny, which I think we all think you are? Do you like, what do you think makes it so it's kind of okay to go OOC the way you do? Because it's not like, is it not because it's personal, because it's still sort of in character OOC, or what do you think?
It really depends on the audience and who I'm doing that shit with. Like, there are people in the server that I would just don't even bring that up, or if I want to bring it up, I have to like drag someone to the other end of the fucking map to talk about that stuff and just make a shitty joke or something. It just depends on who's there.
Okay. Okay, cool, man.
Again, that comes from your ability to read the room, right? Which I think is a very, it's a difficult skill to learn, but I think there are people who master it, and I think you're definitely one of them.
Yeah, one of my big like things with Front is sort of in the way that you complimented me last week, Troms, about the way that I am such a character as a cadet and as a booth boy on John Hydra. I think Front does a really incredible job of being a character in a position that for a while you were basically like in the rules not allowed to have fun as an EMS. You were like not allowed to like kind of role play, really. You're like, go do your thing, you know, do the medical stuff, get them there, and then leave. You can role play with your other EMS while you're waiting for calls. Like, that's kind of how it used to be. And I think sort of single-handedly, maybe not single-handedly, but people like you and Heidi did such a good job, Heidi Sore on Twitch, of bringing characters to life in EMS. I think that's it feels so alive now thanks to you guys.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Also, like some people see me- jobs like mechanic, jobs like police officers, judges, lawyers, and EMS, like mechanics, like they're just to fulfill a specific role, and that's it. But I remember role playing with Derpfront when he had his block character, right? Can you guys hear that in the back?
A little bit. Which
My
character
bad.
was he talking about?
He had a top hat. It was his block character who was an EMS.
Oh yeah, that's
You go around sticking, yeah.
same
You
character
go
he's
around,
playing now.
Wait,
yeah, you go around sticking drills in people. And shit.
Yeah, Doc
If
Block.
you roll, yeah,
That's
I like that. I like that a lot.
that's the magic of it, though.
Mhm.
That's what I love about it. So, Dafront, so for those of you who aren't familiar with who you are, who you play, why don't you quickly introduce some of your characters? Because you have, I don't know if you have more than the three, but I know of at least three of your characters.
So I mainly play on Riv. Occasionally I hop on my lifer, RDMer lifer. I don't really touch Toby as much anymore because the whole design and concept of Toby is, well, too many guards are just being nicey nice. They're not doing the whole this is a prison, treat like a prison thing. So I brought Toby in there. He was supposed to be a corrupt guard. I would drag people to the side, people that I've RP'd with for a very long time, and do like really fucked up uh, prisoner guard interaction stuff. Like we have somebody named Marty. He was sent in as a lifer because he tattooed kids and animals and dogs. So Marty crossed Toby once. So he grabbed the dog from the outside, made everybody aware, like, oh, look at this adorable dog. It's so cute. Wow. Hey, look, what's going on over there? Then I tattoo the dog and pin it on Marty.
Oh no!
Oh shit!
I
My
think
man.
I also before I had Prio again on 3.0 because I had it in 2.0. I in order to get into the server, I played a character, a prison lifer, and he was the leader of the Yazuka gang. He was Killua Yazuka, leader of the Yazuka crime family. And I think I was there when that happened, and we everybody killed that guy over and over again for that dog.
Oh my
That
god!
guy's life was ruined for days.
Hey, you did that, the front. You did
You
that.
did that, you monster.
Yep, just stir up shit. Like I would take Lifebird's money and I'd throw it over the fence. I
Oh,
would
you'd like
roll
ball it
cash,
up and
throw
throw
it
it?
over.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's so brutal. I love that's so interesting because you play normally like such like light-hearted, fun, goofy characters that suddenly you're bringing in this like really mean guy. Like that's how does that like affect you emotionally at all, or is it still all comedy to you?
Oh no, it's fucking hilarious. I unfortunately stopped playing Toby because the people that I hung out with, they don't really see conflict too often, and when given conflict, they did not react well to it. So I just fucking benched that character.
That's a sad thing that happens in NoPixel sometimes in any role-playing server. Sometimes you offer somebody conflict as a means of an interesting storyline or an interesting interaction, and it doesn't go over the way you thought it would in your head, and suddenly this person's like, you're like, oh fuck, are they mad at me like out of character? Like, do they think that I'm mad at them? Like,
They take it personally.
yeah, the line between in character and out of character can be really thin. Like, it can really like sometimes I message people because I'm like, hey, dude, I know that I told you were a worthless piece of shit and I was going to kill you every time I saw you, and that I hope you die, and that every time you wake up, you stub your toe, and that you pop your knees, but your knee actually breaks and you don't know it, and you have a microfracture. Every time you take a step, it hurts a little bit. But that was all in character, and I hope we're good. And then they don't respond. I'm like, ugh, that's not good.
Oh no,
Oof, yeah, they don't respond.
got left on red. So, oof, oof.
I used to get cold feet playing a antagonist type character, but then I don't know. I've learned to walk the line to make so the person on the other end knows that I'm not coming at them from an OOC angle. Like I'll word it certain ways, I'll interact with them certain ways, and now it's just secondhand to me. So I used to have a lot of instances where I get OOC DMs about by admins mostly. This was like my first couple months in NoPixel. I'd get OOC DMs by admins to like calm down and things. But then the longer you role play, the longer you get to separate yourself from your character, you start to build on that trait. And then again, some of the people who do play on NoPixel, some of them it's like their first day. And if you do something negative to them, they see it as they haven't got that they haven't got that separation yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
the RP barrier, like the RP immunity barrier that you have to build up a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
The separation between you and yourself and what should offend you and what should offend your character. Like realizing that, the stuff that's happening to your character is not actually happening to you. And therefore you should not feel as your character should.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's learning how to separate that kind of stuff, which I think for me was a little hard to do in the beginning. I definitely had some trouble realizing like how my character should feel and how I would feel. Right.
How do you manage the crossover? How do you manage when you start feeling sad or emotional because something happens to your character? How do you go how do you pull back from that and go like, this is not me, like this is the character?
I guess in a sense it's like the skill is just noticing it, right? And knowing when that's actually happening. So I can't say there's really like a specific skill involved. It's just like becoming more aware of it and when it's actually happening to you.
Okay. Yeah, just like I think that's a great be aware, acknowledge sort of that it's happening, and then move past it. I actually I have an embarrassing story. Oh God, am I telling this on episode 2? Okay, my first character ever was Hydropixel, which is so cringe. And he was gonna run I've told the story before. He wanted to run the Yespixel podcast where he recorded people in game, and then it was an out of game podcast. And then it never ended up happening because people just didn't like it. I would ask them, be like, "Hey, can we do this?" And then I recorded a bunch of episodes, and then one person was like, "Don't do it," and then they told their friends, and they all were like, "Don't put this on air. Like, you can't put this as a podcast." We thought this was just for in game, even though I messaged them out of character. Blah blah blah. It's fine. But the literal first day in the city, 4T had been like harassed. This was 2.0 40, but she was still creepy. I mean, she was a master of creeping people out. She was stalking him, and she had said that she's like, "You're not my friend," "You're not my friend" thing. And he was like, "I'll be your friend. I'll do anything to be your friend." And he ended up running a race with, God, who's the guy? Jugs RP. His character, Lenny, right?
Lenny Large. Yeah.
Lenny Large.
Yeah. Also a Wild RP, old school homie. But ended up running a race, and he cheated, and we had to drink vodka, and then he drank water because it was back when you couldn't see the bottle in your hand, and we ran the race and he won. And then she's like, "You cheated, but I'm not gonna kill you. My new friend number 55 is." And I was like, "I'll do it." And then so I just starts shanking him in the middle of the street, surrounded by cops. God. Yeah. And so he gets arrested, and it was actually, I think it was not Espino's, who's the cop that's also an admin, and he's like a brown skinned man. He's like Latino. Oh God, I'm so bad.
Tessa.
No, shut up. His name is Spartan. It was Spartan.
Spartan's an admin?
Isn't he? Am I crazy? Not Spartan. Who am I thinking of? Anyway, it was a cop that's also an admin, right?
Okay.
And
Jonathan YOLO.
No, it's not Jonathan. This was too.
That's what I was thinking.
I can't remember. I'll look it up later. But it was a cop that was also an admin. Was questioning him, and was just tell us, did 40 make this happen? We saw you there. And he was like, no, it didn't happen. You can't make me talk. And they were like, we're going to make you talk. He's like, you can't make me talk. And he ended up threatening to bite his own tongue off to stop the cops from forcing him to talk. I was playing, it was very mentally traumatized by 40 because for 6 hours she had been harassing this character, and he's having a psychotic break. And so they ended up arresting him, taking him to the cells, and then they call Stanton in, and they're going to 5150 my character on his first day. Now, I didn't know what that was. So when they said it's going to be a 3-day, hold, the way they didn't describe it right, so I thought I was getting banned for 3 days.
Yeah.
So I was really,
I mean, might as well be.
I started crying. I genuinely was like emotionally like losing it. And I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't realize I thought I was getting punished for like self-harm RP, right? Because I like threatened to bite my own tongue off.
Right.
And so I was like, oh no, dude, I just got in on my first application. This is my first day. I'm like in and I'm out. Not like this, dude, please. And so they heard me getting emotional and they like kind of cringed at each other and were like, all right, we're just sending you to jail. Goodbye. And then I messaged the cop later, or maybe the judge, maybe it was Stan, I don't remember. But I was like, hey, dude, like, I'm so sorry I got emotional. I just thought I was getting banned. And they were like, no, if you get banned, they just kick you out of the server. And I was like, okay, cool. So that was have you guys had any like big emotional stories like that? Front, have you had anything like that?
I need some time to think about that one.
My first day was pretty overwhelming because like I watched NoPixel a bit, not too religiously, but I knew who some of the big names were on the server. And I think in my first day I ran into most of them. And most of the encounters I had
were
were
60 people in the server. It was easy.
Yeah.
Most of the encounters were pretty bad, right? Because the character I was playing was
It was it was the guy who wasn't a Marabunta Grande, right?
Yes, it was basically a guy who would do what he could to steal what you had. So a loot goblin. That's what people saw me as.
Yeah.
Wild West RP, if you were to rob someone and there was a roleplay meaning behind it, nobody cringed. But in NoPixel, there were these rules, these little caveat rules that you wouldn't find on other servers.
You can only rob people if you've been at war for 6 weeks and it's a Tuesday and the sun is at 37 degrees in the sky and their left shoelace isn't tied. Then it's okay to take everything, but not their phone. And if you do take their phone, you have to leave $67. And if you don't leave $67, you got to take off 2 of your socks, throw them in some hot milk, put them on their feet, and then walk away. And that's okay. That's how it feels.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think I was called a pocket wiper the first day, a loot goblin the first day, because like there's small things that you don't know about that you have to learn, and some people don't give you the time of day. Like I've seen it like people go on NoPixel their first day, maybe they have a bad mic, people just write them off, sideswipe, skip, walk away. I try not to do that in my role play. I usually try and engage everyone on like a base level, no matter who they are. But yeah, that's my first day. It wasn't terrible, but I did get a few DMs. But yeah, how about you, Trumps? How's your first day?
First day, it actually, I'd say it wasn't very eventful at all.
I think that's probably the standard.
I got on, I did my pirate thing, and this was 3+ years ago. So this was back when I think the server was still, it was less than 60. We were still like mid 2.0, I want to say. The
golden years.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it was. It would have been around the golden years. There wasn't really a whole lot going on, at least not for me, right? I was having a hard time meeting people. Just didn't really find anybody that I clicked with. A lot of people that I was meeting were more on the serious side of playing a character, right? Whereas I, right from the beginning, was playing a pirate. Did a little bit of house robberies, met a couple people. I think I met not Rudy, can't remember it, the other guy from the Lost, been around forever. Say again?
Reed.
Reed. That's it. I met Reed selling house robbery stuff to Reed from the Lost.
Classic.
Lockpicks.
This is my shocked face. Yeah,
it was honestly very bland. And even playing Tim was meant to be like a bit of my conflict character back then. I just wanted something that was like snobby and rich and just kind of like it pissed people off, but in like a good way. You know what I mean? It pissed them off that they want to like interact.
You want people to want to interact with you, even if it's in a bad or angry way, right?
Yeah. I also would say that I wasn't that good of a role player back then.
I mean, I wouldn't say much has changed.
It's yeah. I mean, it took a long time to get to even where I am now. So I still wouldn't say that's particularly
Hey, RP pro
good.
tip for anybody: if you don't have any talent, just pretend to be a pirate. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, so my like first experience wasn't that. As far as like having an emotional experience, I do remember a time where I felt both scared, like in character and out of character. And it wasn't, I wouldn't say scared, it was more like nervous. And it actually has to do with J Dot. You guys know J Dot. He's an amazing role player, plays Drew from the GSF. He's got a cop now. But at the time, he was playing a lot of his security company character whose name I cannot remember.
Did they drive a van around and like
I can't remember the company now. Oh my god.
Pegasus. That
Yeah,
was
he
the
was
name.
from Pegasus. It was his name started with an M. Oh man. I had beef with him.
Nino's crew, right? Those guys?
Yep. Yeah, there was a Pegasus concierge. It's like it's right there. It's on the tip of my tongue. But we had beef essentially. And I remember one time I pissed him off. And both in character and out of character. We did something to him. I think I hit him with my car, or I hit his car with my car several times. And it was like
what character
it was clearly on purpose, but I said it was like an accident, right? I was like,
was this on
sorry.
Moosebeard or Littleman?
It is on Moosebeard.
Okay.
This is, and we were right outside the burger shop. There was a couple of people. I was with like Gary Roche at the time, and a couple others. He gets out and he starts robbing my friend at gunpoint. He starts robbing Spoonerism, who's playing Harry Parts at the time.
I don't know that guy.
There's Harry Parts. Hey there, Moosebeard. Okay. It's good guy. Spoonerism's excellent. Starts robbing him, and I kind of hid it this time. So as soon as he starts robbing him, I run out and I got my knife and I'm holding it, and I get right behind him. I say, stop robbing him right now. Like I say some shit, and like I give it a second, and he can't stop because he's in the animation, right? And so I shank him in the back.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
Is this because you were new and you didn't know he couldn't stop, or?
Yeah, I just didn't think about it. I just wanted to, I didn't have a gun. I didn't want to like pull it, maybe I did have a gun. I don't know. But I ended up stabbing him in the back. And from that moment on, I felt like I had earned his ire, I was like, it was, maybe it pissed him off or whatever, but we ended up having beef again later. That was really, really good. But it was in that moment where I was like, oh my God, I know Pegasus Concierge, and I just pissed their leader off. So
were you worried any like out of character consequences were going to happen?
I actually really didn't think about it until later. I was like, man, I'm going to go check out that interaction with him, see what's up. And then I saw that he was like actually upset. He's like, this guy waited until I was in the animation to stab me, and I was like, no, I didn't. That's not like what I meant.
That wasn't my intent. Like, oh,
yeah,
no,
it's like, oh shit. So like I was a little nervous, like one that I pissed this guy off out of character, but then my character was also a little nervous for stabbing the leader of Pegasus Concierge.
It's kind of a big deal. I love how we're playing a video game, pretending to be people in a sandbox world, and you can do something that is inconsequential in reality that gives you so much sort of real life endorphins, emotions. It's crazy. We're like living on the edge sometimes, like sitting in our homes, not even playing like competitive games. And you get that's why I love RP so much. I think it's so sick. I wrote some things down just from what we were talking about. 52, when you were playing your character with all the tattooed face, I can't remember his name. I remember watching, because I was watching, you weren't live, so I was watching Zombie Barricades, who was the 2.0 leader of the Eastside Ballers. And you guys had some really funny interactions, and then it, like, by happenstance, they kept running in. You'd be doing something completely wild. You'd be, like, burying someone in a dumpster, and they would roll up on you, like, randomly, and you would be you and just play yourself. And this kept happening. And eventually you would like never afraid to like hurl like verbal insults. And at first Zombie liked it, but then like it started getting awkward. And then so he like blacklisted you from RP essentially with the Eastside Ballers. Do you remember that?
I know that I had a lot of encounters with him when I first started out. But I tend to not put like people on pedestals, even if they have viewerships.
Same.
So
To my detriment sometimes.
yeah, I just engage everyone how I think my character would engage them, right? And if they think it's out of character, whatever, they can DM me, but I'll usually leave it to them. And I didn't at no point did I feel like I got blacklisted though from ESP. But ESP, that type of gang, was very aggressive gang. You know, that gang would probably shoot you for hitting their car. And
sounds alright.
as much flack as ZB gets, he was a good role player. He was an amazing role player in role play. And most times you take it well, but no, I didn't. I mean, I have felt like blacklisted from certain roleplay cliques back in 2.0. It doesn't happen as often now in 3.0, but 2.0 is very clicky. You know, those in groups, those like crews that the only way in is to grind for them, right? So you go out, grind Oxy or materials or whatever, and even then, at most all you'd get is a message back, like asking you if you if you have the
You got my mats,
materials.
yeah. I
Yeah,
call that trading your time for attention, and I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. I'm a very lazy person, so
Guilty.
I don't like having to work for anything. I used to move around the server like whatever happens happens. But yeah, I've had a few bad encounters. I don't think I've had bad encounters with ZB though. All my encounters with him were pretty good, to be honest. Maybe his henchmen.
That's
like,
what it
the
was. It was
members,
exactly that.
it might have been them.
They like
you
got
know,
in his ear,
might-
yeah.
yeah. Because I've noticed something in NoPixel, but like if there's a big streamer and he's the leader of a gang, there's always gonna be like one or two people that are like cock blocking all roleplay engagements with whoever that person
They're like,
is.
yeah, the gatekeepers of RP sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely
Yeah.
had like actual RP. So I used to role play with Hutch and Curtis Ryan a bit on Stinky Leg, and I went away for a little and came back, and I went to try to like contact Curtis or something, and he had like a character. I think this was just a guy that worked for him, but he was like, if I see you around, Curtis, I'm gonna like throw you in the ocean. And I was like, whoa, like this is such a weird interaction because this character doesn't know my character. This is literally somebody like trying to stop other people from getting screen time with Curtis Ryan so that this guy gets more screen time. Actually, I didn't do an official report, but I messaged an admin. I messaged the guy first, and he responded saying like, don't ever message me again.
Yikes.
And then so I messaged an admin. I was like, hey, I don't want to make this an official report, but like this interaction happened. Like, could you maybe talk to this guy? Because I don't think he like understands what he's doing. I think this is like coming from a good place or coming from like an RP. I was just trying to be political, like nice about it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'll take talking to him.
That's one thing I don't like. It's when people use roleplay to like. I've seen some people do this. I'm not gonna say any names, but where they use their character as like social accreditation. I don't know, like to accredit themselves, like get their self-worth off of their roleplay character. So if you do anything wrong to their roleplay character, they'll get pissed off.
I believe that's
called
called a
themselves.
self-insert.
Yeah, and if you take away their quote unquote favorite streamer from them, and they see you as a threat, then you get they start feeling spiteful. I've learned to navigate that. I just avoid those type of encounters completely, and I just do my own thing nowadays.
And there's a lot of people in the server that are shitty. And I frankly just don't give them time of day, unfortunately.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to. We were talking about that last week, how sometimes the only right way to RP with somebody is to not RP with them. And I think that's like, it's kind to both of you, because if you know you're not going to have good interaction with people and you know they're going to piss you off, you just stay away. I actually was I talked to a couple cops now that you're a cop, 52, Carmine, who I was telling, like, so-and-so from the casino is a cop now. And they're like, dude, I don't be around that guy. If I saw him, I would just leave. And I'm like, well, you gotta be around him now. So I was kind of like smoothing it over for people to like not be shocked that you were there. I'm giving your cop every chance he's got. Okay, he's already got 5 strike points.
Yep, I do.
What'd you do on a cop?
So I was asked to take a picture of a criminal who had that mugshot. They had a gun in it, right?
He was ordered
And
by Dan Faley.
yeah, and then I found an angle where I could get something out of that. So I pretended, cadets fuck up, right? So I pretended that I, forgot to fix the picture, get a new mugshot. And Dan Faley sent me an email stating, "Hey, if you don't get this done by tomorrow, you're getting 5 strike points." And I didn't get it done by that date, so I have 5 strike points.
What a goofball.
But yeah, I one of the benefits of playing a character that's openly antagonistic is you get to know exactly who doesn't want to role play with you and who does. You don't have no veils, nothing. It's just out there. You know who wants to and who doesn't, and it just makes life slightly easier. But yeah.
Yeah, actually, can we talk about Dan Faley real quick? Played by Aaron on Air. One of the first people I actually hung out in the community of to watch on NoPixel back when he was 2-viewer Dan Faley. With his budding romance with Patricia Mayonnaise. Dude, that was so cute. I got disciplined by him recently, actually, on John Hydra. I had an interaction where I didn't agree with another officer's charges for somebody, and I was like, I think both out of character I thought it was interesting to pursue this, and in character I get very not emotional, but I lean very far into roleplay, so it'll often seem like I'm emotional when my character is, but that's just how I be emotive well, right? I think that's just called acting. And so I had an argument. It was John Doe, and we were arguing about whether or not people, if one gang is attacked by another gang, ambushed, right, with no prior interaction, and then gang number one that is ambushed defends themselves because they can't leave the situation, they shouldn't be charged with gang-related shooting, right? That was my thought process, because a gang-related shooting is a shooting that takes place between two gangs over gang activity, right? If they have previous beef, if they're at war, if this is a territorial thing, even if the gang that was ambushed was in their territory, I would still give them gang. But because they were just randomly somewhere, I was like, this is self-defense, 100%. And they didn't agree. And I was talking to them. I was like, listen, I would fight this if I were you. I wouldn't plead guilty to this. I think that it's in your best interest. Because we can't find you a lawyer, I was giving him more help. And I was like, we could try a bench trial, but and so some of the officers that were there, not John Doe, I don't know who, I'm not going to name anybody, but some of the officers that were present that saw that brought it up to Dan, and Dan gave me a talking to. And it wasn't a disciplinary talk, but it could have been, I think, if my attitude hadn't been in the right spot. Yeah. Right? If I'd been defensive and shitty, that might have been strike points. It might have been retraining something. But I was just like, yep, you're right. And basically what he said was, when you are in the cells talking to people, we need to appear unified. Even if you super don't agree with somebody, this is something you bring up to a supervisor and to the person later. You don't do this. And I was like, cool, won't happen again. But what impressed me in that,
you can't find legal representation for somebody, then it kind of does fall on you to be able to do it, right? So I think in my opinion, you were in the right.
I think it was okay to help him.
RP is great RP.
I think it was okay to help him. I don't think it was okay. This is in character. This is not an out of character thing. In character, it was not okay to say that the other officer's charges were bullshit, right? That is out of line in character, which I agree with. I think it fits the character of John Hydra, but I think I have to be careful with the way I handle that. So do that moving
Makes
forward.
sense.
Front, you are now on Riv, Chief of EMS. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, full chief, so I
Full
can
chief.
do whatever I want.
So
Good
you
shit.
Happening.
So you came up from somebody who honestly almost got kicked out of EMS several times for being too much of a character, to I think suspended several times in the past,
Yep.
to Chief of EMS. Can you walk us through what it was like to be at the bottom, to go all the way to Chief, and talk about some of the highlights that happened in there? And then if you want, we can watch those clips you posted.
Yeah, so starts off with being likable. A lot of people like me. More people like me than people that dislike me. The people
Super
dislike
true.
me were people who were like, "Oh, you shouldn't be putting Jolly Ranchers into people's injuries." And then if that ever gets brought up, I'm like, well, actually, Jolly Ranchers are what I refer to as gauze, but they are different in color. They have been dyed a little differently, perfectly safe for the body. I pretty much just
Like RP finesse it.
defend. Yeah, just finesse everything.
Now, I see you used worms on the body to mend it with the silk. Is that something that typically you would do as a medical practitioner?
Well, you see, these are special RP worms that spit silk, which is 30% more better than regular standardized gauze. So it's actually doing them a favor. Also, these are sterilized silkworms.
Dude, your ability to just finesse and bullshit and make it fun is so good. What was your, did you have I think every character has a moment where you're like, this is the character I want to play. What was your moment on Riv that made you go like, oh, like this is so rewarding. This is so satisfying. What made you like, talk to me about that?
It's pretty much from watching EMS Bob. I was like, wow, these interactions, the things he's doing, they're so out of line compared to what the other EMS are doing. This is some really entertaining shit. If I do this, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. So I did that stuff. I spent like a couple of hours on a Google Doc sheet thinking of dumb things to do, thinking of plans.
Oh, I love that.
And like every few weeks, I would revisit it, add more ideas, and go on to keep things fresh.
That's so sick. You actually did like out of character like preparation work to roleplay the way that you wanted to play your character. I bet not a lot of people do that. I think what we're seeing right now is that you as a player put in a ton of work out of character, both mentally and like preparatorily, in order to, we kind of get this image of you as like this laissez-faire, sort of relaxed, like fun, goofy, crazy character. But in reality, you're like putting work in to make that character work, right?
Yep.
That's wild.
Every Sunday when before my LOA, every Sunday, I would just spend the entire day, my day off, just relax, look for like inspiration. Go on YouTube, type in EMS stuff, maybe look at funny doctor memes, and then just go from there.
Whoa.
Stuff like that.
Do you guys have you ever done this? Have you ever done out of character work to like prepare for a role in character? Other than like, I know you and I know the three of us have looked at like flashcards and stuff for the PD stuff, but like, have you ever like done character building OOC shit like that? What the? I bet almost nobody does that.
I looked up a list of famous pirates to make sure that Moosebeard was every single one of them throughout history. That they were all loosely based on him in some way. It doesn't matter who they are; they're just loosely based on him. Peter Pan or Captain Hook from Peter Pan. You know, we got the entirety of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Every pirate, right?
Every pirate. He's the every pirate.
That's so sick.
I've done something similar too. My characters usually the only planning I do for them is the initial planning, like who they are, what they sound like, what their traits are, and I usually base it off of like so a movie character or a real life person. Like my Carmine Costello character, the Italian, he was initially based off of Joe Pesci, and
I can see that.
I forgot what the other guy's name was, but you know that movie with
I'm walking
with the
in.
remote,
Oh, with the
remote that turns back time with
Click?
Adam Sandler.
Click.
Yeah, not him, not Adam Sandler. The other guy who's like God in that movie. That talks slow and drags his words.
I don't remember the character.
And the longer I play the character, they usually like veer off that archetype, and they
become more
themselves.
They fall into themselves. That's like the rewarding moment for me when I'm playing a character, because I always set up like the work I do is like I go, okay, what's a funny character concept? Okay, like an MIT about to be like postgraduate that's going to drop out to go be a gangster because that's what he thinks his life dream is now, right? Because he's having a fucking midlife crisis or an existential crisis. Okay, so what are traits? Okay, he's like really good at convincing people of things. He's really smart and he's good tactically, right? Great. What are his flaws? Okay, he's very ignorant. He's very self-absorbed, and he has like no physical abilities whatsoever. He's like really shitty at this. And that's the character. And then I go and I just role play and I let the character, I kind of figure out who the character is as I'm playing them. I think that's the best way for me to have a character. So the idea of doing like, oh, I'll do this and I'll have ideas for this, like Front does, I think that's very like so antithetical to the way I would do it, but it obviously works and it's really impressive. I think it's so sick.
Okay, Front. So now that we're on the topic of EMS, I've been waiting for this. I'm waiting for this box to open up. I want to hear from somebody who's been on the inside for a very long time, your opinion on the state of EMS, because I know that over the last year, there has been a lot of turmoil. Like there were times where, like Hydra said, you guys weren't even allowed to really do role play, right? And as somebody who I think your primary focus is the role play over, showing up and actually just like administering medical and then going on to the next call, right? Like, I feel that you would have a very, very interesting opinion on the state of EMS over the time that you've spent with them. So the last year and a half, or however long it's been.
So the second I got full chief, I threw out every single SOP and redid them all, because before the SOPs were hot garbage. The SOPs didn't mention what a 13A or B was. That's how bad they were.
Oh no.
Oh,
He's a revolutionary.
Dude, I think
I feel like that's something that's pretty important to know.
yeah.
That is.
For those of you who aren't familiar with a police officer 10 codes, 13A is, oh my god, I'm a cop and I just got shot and it's an emergency. And a 13 Bravo is, I've done something silly and I'm now on the ground, but I still need medical. You
Wait.
fell off your bike or some shit.
Front, is that why in the past, if you 13 Bravo'd, they would come to you like a bat out of hell? Because they didn't know the difference between Alpha and Bravo?
It was up to the FTOs to teach them that, but once again, there was no curriculum for FTOs. It was, hey, teach them. Are they ready? All right, there we go. So I was like, hey, can we give them a final eval? Because we literally have no curriculum. We don't know what they know. We don't know what they're teaching them. And that idea got skipped on. So when people were promoted to EMT, I kind of like pulled them aside and I was like, hey, do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do that? If a 13 Alpha goes off in the prison, what do you do? Each and every one of them answered, oh, I would drive over to the prison and 1012 it. Which is something you don't do because the DOC have their own system where they just take them to an infirmary. So you would have that medic just out there waiting,
Just waiting, just standing
for
there.
decode 4. Yeah. That's how bad the training was. It was hot garbage. So now I'm like putting in checks and bounds, barriers to make sure we are actually training competent medics. But on the other hand, I also want to hire people who are decent role players.
Yeah.
Like
Ayub,
the interview
right?
is like Ayub. Yeah, he's great. He does a lot of work for us.
Dude, the guy's funny too. He like can really roll with pretty much any RP. He reminds me of a young you, honestly. Like when you were first getting started, that's how he reminds me of.
Ayub's very, very chill.
Yeah, like I think Alfie the trainee, I think he's got a lot of things to work on, but that guy made me laugh a whole bunch. The redhead eye patch guy.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he
Alfie.
also plays he has a cadet or a DOC character. I RP'd with him the other day actually. He plays the real gruff voice character like this. Yeah. He plays.
Dude, him and I had a fucking laugh fit together one day. And
we did too. Yeah, we were because he also plays
Dudley.
Dudley, yeah.
That laughs.
Yeah.
The kettle laugh.
It's just laugh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's contagious.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that's like a voice clip that he's actually playing back. Because it's the exact same laugh over and over.
Is it like a
It's like on point.
kind of like that?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
yeah.
Oh, I hope he's not, because he's made me laugh just simply because he said something and then he'll laugh and I can't help but laugh. When somebody's got a good laugh, oh man, it kills me. It actually kills me.
It's just so out of the blue.
I know you guys. I think I played this last week where I passed out from laughing, and I've had like the whole hospital laughing. The person who made me pass out was the LGX on Bryce Miller, and so the other day John Hydra runs into Roland, whatever his last name is, also played by
Elson.
LGX, and we like started like going off on almost an OOC thing about laughing and like making you laugh, and he like I started laughing. He's like, "Uh-oh, it's starting," and him saying, "Uh-oh, it's starting," made it start happening. So I had to walk away. I already felt myself starting to get lightheaded. I was like, "Nope, not doing it." So then I came back and I was like, "Hey, Roland, would you ever just randomly attack a cop for no reason?" He was like, "Oh, you motherfucker." The whole thing with his character Roland is if you ask him a yes or no question, he will roll a die. If it's 1, he will do it, and if it's 2, he won't do it, or maybe vice versa. Right. But he ended up rolling. He ran rolling. He would, and then so he attacked me with a hammer and got blasted. And I felt bad, so I ended up asking them to lower his charges to like assault instead of assaulted deadly and attempted on an LEO.
Come on, man, you're charge baiting. What the hell? This is cop baiting, dude. Stop.
Stop, bro. Come on, bro.
Dude, not cool, dude. That's my streamer, bro.
That's like one of the most enabling character traits you could have. It's rolling a dice on it.
It's so
other than just saying yes all the time.
And then following through with that, I love that. Oh, that's why you saw so much success with the character too, because like
people really love interacting with it.
Yeah, you're leaving it up to fate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 50-50 on what's going to happen.
You're inviting people to. It's almost like you have like a magic 8-ball you can shake. It's fun. It's interactive. So you go to this character and you go, I can directly affect how this character acts. Maybe.
Oh.
I think the maybe is important. Do you want to watch those clips that Front posted?
Yeah, let's take a look.
All right, so I gotta do this, and then go here.
Okay, so for those of you who are listening or watching, one of these clips posted somewhere where you guys can watch them as well. Get links to those. What is this first clip? This is from Penta's channel.
Oh yeah, this is RD introducing himself.
Oh,
not Frog is a different one. Which one are we doing?
Before we watch this, I met Dafront on RD Emma when we went to jail on the Littlemans, and instantly there are, I think you mentioned this, Hydra, but there are people who you meet and you just know you're just instantly like, I want to hang out with this guy. Like this is the kind of person I want to roleplay with. This guy, you give off an aura or something like that just attracts people. Mm-hmm. And I see this with a lot of people. We just had a guy yesterday when Miles and I are rolling around in the Littlemans. We meet this guy. He was doing like a Huggy Bear role play, but he was doing it in the same style as Chuck Danger, where he was like playing like
cool sound effects. Nice.
Like,
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Jackson Delicious or something like that. He was amazing. We ended up introducing him to Chuck Danger, who was around, and we just left those two. We're like, we've done our job here. We've introduced these two, but as soon as he called me up for a taxi, and I was like, Jim, we gotta go. We have to go now. We gotta go pick this guy up. Like, this is the kind of guy we need to role play with. This guy just gets it. He's so funny. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought the first time I saw you on RD.
Okay, so let's look at these clips. So first of all, we have a missing poster. What you want to talk to us about this, Front?
Oh yeah, the second got hired as the second I became the full chief. Okay, so let me rewind. Obviously, you guys know that I got into EMS with the idea of being something similar to EMS Bob. So right. I've always had in my mind that, man, one day when I have power in the EMS, I want to hire Bob, Dick, and Shear, EMS Bob back into the EMS.
Oh, that's so good.
Now that I'm full chief, I've been putting up these wanted posters on Twitter, looking for them. I've been putting up posters at the hospital, hoping that Penta's characters see it. I've also like DM'd them, be like, "Hey, Bob, Dick, and Shear,
dude,
come for an interview."
If John Hydra sees one of these posters, I will absolutely put a report in, like a missing persons report. That's so funny.
But the issue right now is Sizz is also missing. I'm not quite sure what the hell happened there, but that's like overcompassing that one too.
Okay,
that's unfortunate. Yeah. You know, literally all it's gonna take is him to see the poster once.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yep. Dude, that's so good. That's funny.
The providing aid. Okay, so let me read this for people that are listening. So it's a missing poster, like kind of made in MS Paint, and it says missing in big red letters, and it's got a black and white picture of EMS Bob. And it says, "Have you seen this man? Bob Dickenshear, age 24, question mark, height, king, weight, average. Last seen at Pillbox Medical Center doing amazing medical care as a Crusade Hospital EMT by providing AIDS tests for the community. If you have any information or seen Dickenshear, please contact Riv, Chief of EMS, as soon as possible." And his phone number says, "Please, information needed." That's awesome.
That's really good.
All right, so now we have a clip. What's this first clip?
Seal make this for me.
Oh, nice.
This old clip. Seal who plays
my boy Bobby Boulderman.
Yeah. He also plays Bubble Boy, who recently joined the EMS. He stays in the hazmat suit, and if the hazmat suit gets punctured, there's a very high chance he permas.
That's hilarious. I actually really like that.
He's got such an interesting voice that like I can identify him on any character he's playing, and I love him so much. Every time I see Seal, I'm just like, I just want to hug you.
That's so good. All right, so what is this first clip?
So this first clip was, let's see, we had a lifer who kept calling different people, asking them to break them out. Recently, he asked XQC to break them out. So XQC came to the prison with a helicopter, landed, and then they tried to escape. But because of how lifers are programmed, once they left the area, the lifer got thrown right back to the prison.
Mm-hmm.
So they just kept doing this about 4 times until XQC just gave up and accidentally crashed into a tree. So from there, the police caught wind of it. They rounded up all the lifers who were around and just started to interrogate them. So they had Wrangler, Bison, and Martel come in. They did little interviews to see who would snitch for like smokes and cigarettes and stuff. And every single lifer fucking snitched, which was fucking hilarious.
Didn't they end up pinning it on one guy? Like they all ended up pinning it on one lifer.
Oh yeah, Reno Calabrese. So
that's right. It was Jaka.
They lined it up like 10 or 12 lifers. They're like, all right, we're going to take you in one at a time. You don't have to talk. You don't have to let us know anything. We're just taking you in, etc., etc. And then everybody kept their mouths shut while in the lineup, except fucking Reno Calabrese. He was like, he screams out, I don't care about X. I don't care about X. I'll snitch. And all the fucking lifers just stopped and just turned to him.
Oh no, dude.
And that's when he was labeled the prison snitch. That's when he was fucking stabbed on sight and fucking planned to get murdered over and over again because he was the known snitch in the prison.
That's so funny. Let's watch this clip, and then I have some thoughts on Jaka, who plays that character. All right. Okay, I'll say 3, 2, 1, go, and then we'll go. Okay. 3.
I'm ready.
2, 1, go.
Have you ever wondered why there aren't any children anywhere in Los Santos?
Oh no.
No, I haven't actually.
You're welcome.
My God! This is dad with no arms.
That was the thing that got me.
The armless dab.
Doctor.
Yeah. So, all right, real quick, and I'm sorry, this is a little bit of a deviation, but when people get very emotive and expressive, it adds so much to roleplay. I actually, I have a Stream Deck set up with just buttons on it for.
Wait,
emotes.
you can do that?
Yeah, it's a simple little macro.
I had a Stream Deck, so.
Yeah, that's all. I got right next to my keyboard.
Is that how you have so many emotes on Moosebeard? You're so emotive.
Right. So this to me, this started when I saw guys like Stephen Hayes. We'd show up at Burger Shot, and every time he'd throw his arms out and be like, "Hey, how's it going? It's me, Stephen Hayes," and he'd do like all these like emotes, right? And it just felt so professional that I was like, man, like this adds so much to the character. And when we met Artie the first time on the Littlemans, he was doing this, but he doesn't have any arms, so you just see his shoulders and he's like flopping around, and oh man, it just to be expressive with your emotes in game is just, it adds so much.
Yeah,
I love Bison's reaction in this clip. He just dabbed with no arms.
Dude,
like,
the dab like really like sent
though?
it. It's so good. What's your guys' favorite emote?
/E down.
Nice.
I use it all the time.
It's so good. You're like, tell me the truth.
It just like adds to like something that you're saying that's like a little serious, or and I have it bound to F3 for that one because I'm like
F3,
I always use
dude,
it.
F3 is the most used emote button. I bet that is like the favorite emote button. Yeah. What about you boys?
That's my slump button.
Slump, nice. What's your favorite emote there, Slump God?
Let's see. I've been liking E-Pill a lot. I've been just running around the city,
just taking pills,
exclaiming I'm EMS, and then people think I'm just taking Oxy over and over again because of the new regulations.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
That's so good. What about you, 52? You got a favorite emote? We can't hear you.
Mine would be a suicide pill.
That's a good one. You got to use it
Skip.
carefully. Skip.
Skip.
I've used my favorite way to use suicide pill is when like somebody stubs my toe. Right? Somebody like bumps you with their car a little bit. Suicide pill. I think it's so funny.
They've added some real good ones lately. Leg injury.
Oh yeah.
So good.
I think mine is
Straight Outta Family
I think
Guy?
mine is boy, BOI.
Yeah.
Now you listen here.
Argue. Hold on, I got a couple. I've like memorized where they are, so I don't even remember like what they're called. I think it's argue.
The one where you're like this,
and
you're like, oh,
explain.
okay.
Just like throw your arms around.
Yeah, some of them are just they're so good. And if you find a good unique emote too, that like it helps build it helps like add on to the uniqueness of a character, which is always something that I feel like people need to focus on. When I was very early on Moosebeard, one of the things I never wanted to change was his red jacket. Because every time somebody saw him,
It was
you could tell
iconic.
it was him a mile away. He had this red jacket on, right?
I actually
And I
started
feel like-
wearing oh god, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that I feel like a lot of people need something to help differentiate their character. There are a lot of people who they'll always wear the same mask, or they'll always wear the same color, or like the same shirt or the same jacket or whatever, right? Because it says this is my character. So finding like a good emote that nobody else does. Moosebeard's got one. He kind of does like
It's the it's like the I call it, it's like the Hugh Hefner, right? Like, welcome to my mansion. We're gonna drink so much booze.
right. It was inspired by Jack Sparrow, right? The way
Yeah.
he just kind of he's so like fluid and like loose and like
Me
it
boy.
felt like that. Yeah.
Another person who is good with emotes is you got Nidus. Nidus, when he plays Ingvar, he's got a an inmate in his cell, and he just spams him with the loser. Oh,
Dude, I had
Looser,
no
looser,
idea
looser.
that Nidus was playing Ingvar. That dude's range is wild. To go
Yeah.
from what is it?
Leslie.
Leslie to Ingvar, dude. That's crazy. Ingvar, is he actually Swedish, or is that just an accent?
No, he's actually Swedish.
Oh, I don't care as much then. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, hold on. I don't think Nidus plays Ingvar.
Oh, he does.
No way.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He
you
plays
didn't know
Rat Boy
this?
too.
See, Rat
thought-
Boy
Yeah, good
sounds
range.
like Leslie, kind of, so you can kind of hear it. But Ingvar is such a switch; it's wild. I wouldn't. Maybe is he using like a very subtle voice changer to like, because it's so different when he's talking. You would have no idea that he was Leslie.
No, it's the mannerisms. It's how he says the words, like he spaces them out in a certain way. There's certain like tics he has, like sniffing. So when you compare that to Leslie, who's always well spoken, speaks directly, it's huge range.
I was surprised that people pick up on like the little like
Dude, they
he
make
does that. He'll leave his mic on and go like after he's finishes talking.
yeah, and that's
He does
deliberate,
it on
right?
the
You, like, are
radio,
doing that
too.
intentionally. You know what I love doing? I love sneezing. Like when I have to sneeze in real life, I'll hold my push to talk so that I sneeze in character. Because like nobody, and when I do it,
Nobody does
it almost always happens. I'll do it, and somebody goes, "Whoa, I haven't heard a sneeze in this city," and I'm like, "Well, that's weird. People sneeze."
Yeah, I've been doing that as well. I just think it's immersive.
Yeah, it's good.
People do sneeze,
Yeah.
Still not a fan of burps.
Ugh, yeah, I hate burps and like fart humor. It's so cringe to me. It like
Yeah.
grosses me out a little bit. I don't know. I just think it's very like middle. I've always been anti like that kind of humor. I think because it's so just like low bar. I don't know.
Low
Yeah, there's
hanging
nothing
fruit.
wrong with good fart humor, but
Like an
Gotta-
occasional, like
doesn't
a
like
very
good?
well timed good fart humor might make me laugh, but I'll still have to. I'll laugh and like I don't have to like it. You know what I mean? I have
Our
a
RP is poggers.
I have a fun question for us. This is for each of us. We'll go in turn. If you had to start a gang right now, this is going to be a full gang with sprays. So, and for in the NoPixel world, that kind of means like you're going to have more eyes on you. You're going to have more viewership because gang RP in general attracts a lot of viewers. And let's say to spice it up to like make you want to do it, you get to pick 5 people that don't have prio and they get prio to come be in your gang too, right? So this is like a big deal for you and for other people. So if you were given that opportunity, what kind of gang would you make and where would you put them? What would you call them, et cetera, et cetera? Like,
that's a tough one.
I know. It's I've actually I've tried to start gangs before on my old Beverly Claymore Hindenburg Waldorf. You know, he was an old man and he tried to retake the Prune gang. Yes, it was very, very difficult from that Melba to the young lad. And it didn't work, but it was so fun gathering people together who wanted to be part of a gang together that it like kind of made me fall in love with the idea of it. I love the idea of making a gang that is in a territory where nobody is, so that you have this sort of isolated territory to bring other people to you. But I think now gangs have to be like in the city, don't they, with the sprays? Is that how it works?
No, you just put down your spray and it kind of, that's, if you've seen the locals with guns, that's you get enough of those, enough reputation, right? So honestly, it's mostly just where there isn't another gang spray, because I don't think you can actually place one close to another gang's gang spray, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Unless you take
claiming territory, which is the hard part about making a gang, is what hasn't been claimed at this point.
So
right?
here's my idea. Even though I think this would be really good RP also, I think taking over the gold mines would be really interesting as a gang, because they're owned by a really influential character or corporation in the city, Cerberus, right? So I think trying to take them over as a gang would be interesting, because you get interaction with them, you get interaction with the police, you might be able to get other gangs to come to, especially like the biker gangs in that area might be pissed off, especially if you start slowly encroaching on their territory.
Yeah,
I think that would be super interesting. You would have these really like tight choke points to like make people not want to come in, you know, especially if you like got one of those caches that you can have and have food stores in the back so you can hold out for a long time. I think it would be super interesting. You could call them like the
Mole man.
what were the gold panners called? What were those guys called? That like Gold Rush actually is a great, I think, gang name. Gold Rush.
gonna be the panhandlers. You're gonna go around.
Yeah. I think if I was gonna lead it, I would be an old man who is gold penning before you were a twinkle in your daddy's eye.
What about a gang of humanoid rat men, like Rat Boy?
Dude, if you were allowed to be the rat character, that would be so sick. Where would you be?
Nidus mentioned wanting to start up a gang of rats who live in the sewers, but finding the right people would be too hard.
Dude,
because
I'm gonna DM him. the four of us. Could you imagine the four of us going with Nidus, being like, "Yo, dude, let's get Nidus on our podcast next week, and then convince him to let us be rat men."
Brick, Walnut Cast. He's mentioned a couple times in character that when he's doing his prowl stuff, because he's the prowler, right? Occasionally he goes down into the tunnels below the city and just patrols down there. And I feel like that would be a great place for a gang. I mean,
getting cops down there for reasons.
Have interaction is when pursuits drive past you, but you can hold down the whole tunnel system, right?
Dude, imagine if the admins let you, or the devs like gave you something that you could give the city that they wanted to bring them. Like maybe Crocodile comes back and you can only get it from the sewers or something, right? Crocodile sewers, right?
Yeah.
That would be so sick.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know where I'd want to start a gang. Started a brief gang on a shitlord character recently at the Red Garage. We were called Red Garage Gang. Nice. Yeah. And but about an hour before that, he was in City Hall Gang, but that disbanded because the only two members got in we had a little bit of a quarrel, you know, and so City Hall Gang had to disband. It only lasted about 4 minutes.
Oh,
it's a good gang. It was really good.
Do you have one? Gang. Do you have one from?
I managed to steal a stapler on my way out.
Ooh, criminal.
Nice. Yep.
I've got a cop-out answer for the whole gang thing. I'm already a part of a gang. Okay, Marabunta Grande, MG in Fudge Lane. If I could change the gang, one thing I'd want to change about it is, well, it's not the gang, it's the server. It's how grindy the server is, and how big of a loss you take after getting caught once by cops, or after losing one gunfight, you lose a lot. If the server wasn't as grindy, I'm pretty sure Marabunta Grande, or maybe even other gangs, there'd be more gang-like. They'd operate more like a gang, take more risks. But nowadays, not many people are taking risks because of the whole gang app system. It's gone really stagnant. 2.0 though, 2.0 is a lot of roleplay behind conflicts, but now it's just about sprays, and who gets codes and you
Yeah,
know.
I think the sprays were a good idea in theory. I don't think anybody likes them.
Yeah.
Except for
Same
like
storefronts.
what's that?
Storefronts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they were a
Whose
good
is
idea,
just,
but
like,
nobody likes them.
No RP.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you'd go to Dean's World. There's like at like 3. Okay, on a good day, 8 booths there.
yeah.
People walk in, walk out. That was like the RP hub for civilians. Now it's like, oh, these stores are just scattered around the city. They're not marked, so you have to find them on your own.
Yeah, why aren't they on the GPS? Like, Moosebeard's taking me to like 4 stores. I'm like, this is a fucking store? Like, what? And then it's cringe to walk up to every door and hit E, right?
Yeah.
Like, I went to Public to do some EMS work there. They still had Dean's World. It felt like
Aw.
it was alive again.
You guys keep talking. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
I think the removal of Dean's World was tough. It was really tough for the server. I know a lot of people who are hard stuck as civilians. They don't do a whole lot of crime. They don't have like a big gang to run with or anything like that. So they work a job or whatever. They do light crime. And Dean's World, again, like it was said, was that hub, right? It was where you could go to talk to somebody or find out what somebody's doing for like their little business or start up your own little business, right? It was this area you could start some kind of civilian role play, and to remove that was it was kind of a shot in the foot. I mean, I understand it. I just think the whole idea needs to be brought back and implemented a little bit better. Just to add something, some kind of role play instead of having these stores where nobody's there and it's just a way to make money. Just a way, it's like a bazaar that you just put all your wares in and somebody can come by. It's like having an auction house in an MMO, right?
Yeah, they sell Meta Unlock, they sell gimp suits as armor now in Little Soul.
Okay.
Found that out a couple days ago. But yeah, I know what you mean. Dean's World wasn't perfect. The roleplay there was, it did get kind of stagnant, but it was an avenue for people to go to. So, the only
Like
issue I have with
concerts and shit.
yeah, exactly. The only issue I had with it going was that they didn't have an alternative. They basically got rid of it and left everyone who was doing that high and dry, and they still haven't recovered from it. So, yes, I don't. Thank God for Burger Shot and Ooh Cafe, but other than that, I don't see any Civ RP too often anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, there's nice areas now. The like Shrugway has their own building for doing that. Like they've been a prominent business since the beginning. But one of the deals with that is it's not an actual building like say Burger Shot or Uwu. It is like an instanced area. Not even instance, but it's like obviously it's under the map and you teleport down there when you enter their building. But it's not like you can look out the window and see what's going on. They're stationed in Mirror Park, like right across from the gas station, but you should be able to look out your window and see what's going on at the tavern, right? Like, or what's going on at the local library, and they can't do that because they're not really a building. You know what I mean? So like, he's got like custom stuff set up for being a Shrugway building there, but doesn't get the same experience as say Burger Shot or Uwu.
Yeah, those are the small things that help with immersion too, like getting you into character and everything. So, I'm gonna be honest. I hope a wipe happens, a fresh start, and they bring back something like Dean's World, but more dynamic. Like something like Dean's World, but moves around, forces people to change every couple months.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff there too that I think made it a little bit too inaccessible for people, like needing a vendor's license and having to submit like all your stuff, which like I get you should probably submit your items for a review before somebody just throws them into the game, but I feel like there was a lot of hoops, right? Probably too many hoops for say like some guy who gets on as a one-time character and wants to role play, having I don't know, like a murderous retreat as like one of their things that they can sell you. So I do miss it.
Do you guys have Do you have like a goal that you don't really think would happen, but you would like to make happen in the game? Like a big, like, oh, I'd like this to happen, or I'd like to be this, or something like that. I'll give you an example. I really want John Hydra to like reopen, like as a civilian, to reopen and maybe like purchase or something the mental health facility, Parsons, right? Is that what it's called? Parsons?
Yeah.
I think it's there's so much interesting opportunity for RP there. We have so many people who roleplay crazy, multiple personalities, addicts. I think there's so much opportunity for really interesting roleplay there. We just have to convince people that it would be worth it. I really like that idea of it not just being just dead space on the map.
Right.
I bet most people don't even know where it is.
Crazy people.
It's not even, it's basically, do you want to not be on the server or solo RP and maybe have a therapist come once for 2 minutes?
Right. Whereas your idea would be more like a hospital, right?
Yeah, I think like Arkham Asylum, you know, having people like work there, you know, let the lifers have a second place they could go to like change it up a little bit occasionally. But like, hey, if you bite another person, we're gonna send you to Parsons for 3 days, and they're like, oh, I'm biting somebody, they got steak there. You know, and then maybe Parsons could be the place that, now that there's legal oxy in the server, maybe now that could be a place where you could go to get ox. You could pretend to be crazy at the cost of spending a full like tsunami in Parsons. You know, something like that.
What are your thoughts on Parsons, Dafront?
Oh God,
you guys kind of, I'd say you're probably, besides the PD, you guys would be the closest to Parsons.
So let's see. As somebody who's done like DOC and life roleplay for a really long time, dude, Parsons is the fucking worst place to go to. There's nobody there. There's no one to RP with. It's just you alone. Occasionally, a therapist will pop in. Now, if you get sent to prison, though, you have at least, let's see, the average prison population is maybe 5 to 10 right now. You have a lot of characters there, a lot of people that you can interact with, temps that come in. Some temps will actually give you the time of day instead of rushing to the dishes. You can RP with them. It's just Parsons has like no roleplay right now. You might as well just have the prison like take over Parsons, because we have people in prison who are RPing like
RPing their hearts
mental
out.
stuff. We don't have anybody who's doing drug addiction stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of people there, lots of opportunities. It's gonna be way better than Parsons.
Yeah. What do you think it would take to make Parsons a roleplay hub?
I frankly think they should just get rid of Parsons, because if they make it a roleplay hub, that takes away from prison, and like prison's lacking. But let's say they're like both equally populated, then yeah, there'd be orderlies there to make sure everyone's okay. But frankly,
Orderlies? Okay.
I'd rather have like I can't really
Just
think
more
too much
focus
about
in the
Parsons
prison
stuff.
Interesting.
I'm more focused on the prison.
So maybe
renovate the North Yard, turn it into the psych ward.
That's true. That would be sick, having a psych ward. Yeah.
That was something that they were thinking about doing. They were thinking about closing down Parsons, and the therapists would move to the DOC. They're thinking about turning a certain part of the map into a small Parsons area, but that just never came to fruition, and they canceled the whole entire department.
I think the idea is there. Like the idea for good role play is there, but I think the prison has shown that the implementation of something like that is just it's rough. You really have to want to do role play with either yourself or very few people.
The same people every day.
Right.
I
think it's something the prison already suffers from.
Yeah. And then the disrespect of other people just rolling through and literally not giving you the time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have some more clips you wanted us to watch?
Let's see. There was the clip of Artie going mining.
So if this is what I think it is, this is a perfect example of how emotes can be make things so immersive and so funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm ready to start.
Are we ready? Okay, we'll start at
Yeah,
0.
this will be available for all you guys listening at home or wherever the hell you are.
Yeah, if you want to catch it, we'll put the clip information in if we can. If not, just check it out on YouTube. All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Yes, sir.
Arms, you can do the lifetime. Lifetime.
I think he has a concussion.
Bet.
I can't give the stag dance.
Yeah,
for all
concussion.
that.
Concussion.
Yeah, he's been using his head.
This whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has no arms.
The fuck?
That's another guy we know.
Smashing his face into the.
I mean, it works, right?
Yeah.
The use of sounds with emotes too.
Might need
Work it, dude.
Or I did it.
A
I
little
just
bit
did
extra
it.
for medical bills. I don't know.
No, he'll be fine.
Yeah, nah.
It'll be fine.
I
Oh,
roleplayed
so
Artie with,
good.
I roleplayed brain damaged Artie for like 3 weeks in a wheelchair, talking like
so
Professor X in his
funny.
little box.
Oh, that's what that
That's
was
what
from.
that
I
was,
remember
okay.
seeing you. Okay.
I used a machine to talk for a while until I was like bored of typing my messages out, so I just used the fucking voice mod app.
Dude, I have a problem in the game.
Every time
I-
we see Artie.
I don't know why,
long.
but I cannot get any voice changers to work in the server. I don't know why.
Yeah, it ruined Crim Littleman for you.
I know.
You
I do.
couldn't play him.
I can't play him until I fix it. I might try and download Rain Meter. I really don't want to because I hate Rain Meter. It's just such a nightmare, like setting it all up. Not Rain Meter, Voice Meter. Sorry, Rain Meter is a desktop modifier. Voice Meter. Shut up.
Shut up, bro.
Do you guys have any characters that you wish you could play or wants to play, but don't for a particular reason?
Oh.
I have to think about this.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one and not answer.
Wait, why?
Oh. Ooh, now I want to hear this.
There are a couple of characters I'd love to play. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna open up.
Talk yo shit.
I played John Gang member recently, leader of the Red Garage Gang, former leader of City Hall Gang, and John Gang member, basic ass, like, not the ped model, but like he's the default Andy or whatever, default Dan, but he wears a bandana on his face because all gang members need to wear. And he's the son of John Gang member the first, the guy who robbed the city vault for the first time in '76. Like I had lore behind John Gang member, but he had the dumbest name ever.
Did you end
And,
up getting a talking to because of the name?
No, I didn't.
Not yet.
I didn't, but
Not yet.
that's the thing is I'm like, man, I feel like I can just I like sense the universe just telling me like maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe it went really well too. I had a lot of fun. I think people were really taken aback when they saw on Twitter that John Gang member was now holding down the Red Garage. And I put up all these signs that said like Red Garage Gang, and I was telling people that after I put up all my signs, there's gonna be like tons of locals roaming the area who all look like me and are just armed to the teeth and ready to shoot, right? Like acting as if the tags that I was putting up are actual.
That's so funny.
gang
I really
sprays.
like that.
Oh, it's great.
I'm glad you had fun
John
on.
Gang
I'm glad you
member.
had fun on John Gang member, and I hope he doesn't get you a 3-day.
No, please not again. Please not again. I'm already on thin ice.
I have a character. His name is Morgan McClear. He's an Irish fella, and he was pushing drugs for old what's Jimmy Tulip's character's name? Wayne Biggs. He was pushing, like, literally his first day. He was in the server. He just happened to like see Wayne like broken down, but he wasn't broken. He was actually pushing weed, and he ran up to him. And at first, Wayne was like, "All right, kind of sus that he like ran up into this weird spot." And he explained, he was like, "Oh, sorry, big man. I misunderstood." And then so later he called me and was like, "You want to make some money?" So he started running drugs. And I had like 4 or 5 people say, "Dude, I would love to start an Irish gang with you. That'd be so cool. When you like start getting like set up and are ready for us, let me know." Dude, I messaged 10 people that all told me this. And all of them were like, sorry, can't do it. So it's like, I just don't want to run the one-man gang pushing. I'll do it, but right now I don't have the time. But if I just had 1 or 2 people who wanted to like fly in from Ireland, right? And like, you don't even need to do an Irish accent. Like, you could just be part of the family. I think it would just be so sick to have sort of a grassroots Irish, you know, call them the Celts or something. You know, the gang, or even just the Irish. I think that's fine. But dude, I would love to get like a really like family oriented, like sort of real like Irish style mob gang going. Even if the only thing was like they like manufactured alcohol and like beefed with the HOA over it, right? Because they do alcohol too. I think that would be super. A Southside like brewery or something. That'd be so sick, right? It could be like a neutral zone for the other gangs for them to handle shit. Dude, I love the idea. I really like it a lot. The other thing that I really like about it is I had actual people from Ireland in my chat telling me my accent was amazing.
I was about to say that your voice was really good there.
I really like doing like accents and stuff. I don't think I'm great at it, but I often put like, that's the thing I will put out of character time work into. It's like doing accents because I want to sound genuine. Like when I did Yazuka.
That was really good.
I wanted to make sure that the way that I was speaking was like using a Japanese voice without it being a stereotypical. I do not want to say R's instead of L's. I can speak. I went to Oxford. But, of course, I have my family's accent. Right? I want to make sure that if I'm doing a voice, I don't get canceled because I'm being a dickhole about it, right? I want to, like, give it the character, like, what it deserves.
Was that like the character that was looking for the bunny or whatever? Obviously, his daughter? Or am I thinking of another
You might
character?
be thinking of somebody else.
Different person, but same gang.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
gang?
Yeah, there were a
From the
bunch of
Yakuza?
Yazukas-ish. When none of us had Prio in the early 3.0, dude, we were the Yazukas, and it was really fun. And then we had this is so sad, we had like an incident where one person was getting bullied in character, which was fine. And we had another person in the gang who was watching their stream and was like, dude, this is bullshit. I'm hopping on. Like, I'm not going to let you be the only person in prison. And then the person that was getting bullied was like, no, don't do that. This is metagame. You can't do that. And he's like, I can get on and play if I want to. So he got on and like came in and like saw the other Yazuka getting beat and started fighting the guy that was beating him, right? And because it's the prison, there's like, it's like questionable, right? Should you log in and immediately start fighting? But you know, if you go follow the logic of like, okay, the character wakes up and sees somebody actively beating your gang member, what do you do? Right? Yeah. Easy answer.
You're already in prison.
But then
you've been there the whole time.
The person that was streaming reported the fellow gang member of the Yazukas for doing it, and then we all kind of just fell apart after that. Because I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I love you to death, man, but like, you're doing this because you're scared that you're going to get in trouble. You're literally having like this wild reaction when really this could have just been a please don't do that again conversation. And after that, it just fell apart, and it was just never, the dynamic was like never the same.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it is tough.
Happens sometimes.
I think the rules.
You guys, by the way.
Say again.
The prison really misses the Yazuka.
Dude, I want to bring them back
to like the others.
I'm gonna start. I want to try like maybe once or twice a week hopping on Killua. The problem is really early on, I think Killua had a lot of respect because he could like rein in the family, and there was a lot of us, and we sort of bucked the rules. We wore our like slightly orangish, robes, and we were cool. But now I feel like coming back, we would have like no respect, and it's so hard to play a character that like in his head deserves respect, and in time, put the time in. Maybe if we like I could talk to some DOCers about RPing that he's like might be coming out of like maximum hold or something. That might be interesting, because they did kill one of the other Yazukas in character.
So the OG lifers who still remember the Yazuka will still remember and treat you guys the same, but the newer lifers won't have any idea what the hell's going on.
Gotta put them in their place.
So like the active ones like Lennon, let's see,
Mr. Time,
Marty, yep, who's Knucklehead. Those guys remember. They'll be like, "Oh God, it's you guys again," and then they can easily start off this whole beef thing once again, because they've been itching for things to do in the prison.
Would you want to make a Yazuka and just like start like beefing with other prisoners? I would love that. Hop on once or twice a week and absolutely just fight the other prisoners and like try to take stuff from them and let them. I love the idea of fighting them, knowing that we're probably going to lose. They'll respect us for it, and they'll get a victory. How often do you get a victory in prison, right? I would love to be the device that lets them feel like they've won something in prison.
Yeah.
gang conflict prison
Dude,
RP.
let's do it. Dude, make a Yazuka. Dude, I'm down.
I'll do it. Yeah, that
Fuck
sounds
yeah.
I'm
great.
down to make a Yazuka as well.
Fuck yeah.
I'm down too.
Dude,
I'm down too.
Hell yeah.
Let me hold on. Let me practice my accent. Hey guys, I'm from the Yazuka.
I'm from
It's
Hokkaido. Hey, what's up?
me. Hey guys,
Yeah,
Yazuka gang.
the rule with the Yazukas is it doesn't matter if you're blooded in. If you're married in, you're still a Yazuka.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look like Naruto.
Oh, and you know what I could do?
Kill you.
Oh, well, my character is, by the way, my character is Killua, like from Hunter x Hunter. We had, so if you name yourself anime character Yazuka, totally, like, fine. Troms, don't
Okay.
actually name your character anime character Yazuka.
Oh yeah.
Anime Yazuka, though, pretty
is
funny.
Anime protagonist is my character.
Protagonist Yazuka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be Katsuma Kiryu.
That was good. That was good right there.
Sukata
For a character I would
I
like
missed
to
the-
play that
I
I
remember, sorry, Goro Majima, the guy who played him, amazing, so good.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right, go
Goro
on.
was really good.
for a character I would like to play that isn't feasible now is like a toll booth operator, but at like a busy intersection where a lot of people like to race so fast to go through, just have a toll booth there where I ask for money. That would be funny, but I don't see that happening.
You
That
get
would
like
be
a
very cool.
deployable arm that goes
Oh,
over the
if you could be the toll booth operator at in front of the down south
shop?
the tuner shop, yeah, that would be so sick.
They
If-
put one in like day 2 just to fuck with the tuna shop devs.
Mm-hmm. If they would actually give somebody control over that and it was hard to get around instead of like that ramp right there, that would be so sick.
Guess you could do PDTO and hang out there and actively cockblock people.
Dude, I try to
And
tell
one-
people with PDTO, I've told everybody this. This is your opportunity to show people that you can make roleplay happen when you have nothing.
Yeah.
You are given PDTO is an opportunity to shine. And I know that kind of sounds like, well, you do some art for me and I'll credit you. But in reality, you are in front of some of the most viewed, influential people in NoPixel. You genuinely have a really great opportunity to show these people you can RP. That's why people, dude, as every character I've ever played, there are people that know me who I have no idea who they are. And this is not me bragging. This is me saying I play my characters and I make stuff happen when stuff otherwise wouldn't happen. I go out of my way and take time to make sure that everybody gets involved and everybody feels like they can be impactful, and like word spreads and people hear about you because of that. And PDTO is just one of those things. And if you have cops talking about you, dude, it's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I had a lot of people. Obviously, Moosebeard didn't know about this in character, but I knew about advocating for me as a cop because of our time as it wasn't even PDTO back then. It was literally we were booth boys, and it's fun. It's funny because every time Kim still sees the booth, she goes, "Oh, is there any booth boys there?" Like she talks about my time being a booth boy, and there was no role play. We didn't have tow trucks. You couldn't go to a scene.
We couldn't even leave sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes 10, 12 hours a day you would be out there just a cop and just hope that somebody would stop and say hi. And there were a lot of people who they'd appreciate that quick little like role play between their calls, 5-0 Antho was amazing.
Dude, so good at interacting with the boys.
Yeah, and he'd always take that time to just be chill and then say hi and get to know you. And it's exactly like you said, it's the time to shine, right? Especially a lot of these people are PD hopeful, and they don't want to go to the prison and do the prison role play, or they don't want to, it's just a good way to kind of get your foot in the door and get to know some cops, right? Then when you can fill out your resume, you can get that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Other way I recommend is EMS. I know it's
EMS.
not the greatest way to get into comp, but like you get radio, you try to build confidence on the radio.
Yeah, I have a
when
buddy.
you're EMS.
I have a buddy who Front can talk about this. He's Fat Pally on Twitch. He's playing like Fox William Fox. Dude, when this guy first started as EMS, it was embarrassing. He was not just bad, he was like cringing, like you were like cringing for him. You wanted to help him as the criminal that was down. And you were like, it's like you're on scene. You have to tell them. And he's like, no, you have to put you have to put my neck in a brace. And now like watching him is like, dude, with like the sort of the guidance I think that Riv in game is set up as the chief of police, as the chief of EMS, has like made this guy shine, and he's turned into like a real role player now. He can like he's really smooth in the server, both on comms and like as a player. I think EMS is a great choice.
Yeah, his confidence went so his confidence when he showed up was at least like a 1 to 2 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like a solid 8. Like he's doing really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he had the voice quaver.
Definite improvement. Yeah, he just kept like quivering.
He was like,
he kept saying
Yeah. You know what I've been doing
That's-
on? I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's me right now on
Yeah.
on Mike Cadet. So yeah, hopefully
Tough.
I turn into Fat Pally 2.0.
It's hard. It's daunting.
You know what I've been doing on John Hydra as I'm getting more comfortable with comms and stuff? I've just started like talking into the radio more. I'll call out my shit. I'll call out that I'm going to a thing. But then once I'm there, I'm like, hey, dispatch, 669's here. You know, I'm going to go check this place out. Let me get some 77s down. I feel like it adds some sort of like police immersion. It's not just numbers being broadcast. You're like calling a thing out. And as sort of like a country boy that John Hydra is, it feels nice that he kind of rambles a little on the radio. But this is like an intentional thing that it's concise rambling sort of like.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, it's tough to get into that comfortable zone where you can feel like, oh, I'm not interrupting somebody's comms, or I'm not, saying something that's gonna make somebody mad on radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing I always wanted to do with Moosebeard was like the intense like comms, right, when it came to police chases and stuff, and right northbound, like I like really get into it and like rip them off as quick as I can, right? And just like that there's something about that, it just always fills me with so much joy.
Mm-hmm.
People they approach me, they're like, man, your comms, they sold that whole pursuit. It's great.
Fuck yeah. Oh, speaking of Moosebeard, we gotta finish here in about 5 minutes, because 5 minutes after that is the 11 a.m. PST reset, and this will be the grand return of Moosebeard.
Coming back from the
Oh,
Coast Guard, Cayo Perico, baby.
Is that where he was?
Yeah, he's out there. They
Nice.
needed help. The drug runners were they were big in the ocean, so they needed a couple of ocean guys. Stubble, he's still over there for another day or so, just kind of wrapping things up. But we managed to get ourselves some massive drug busts. Cayo Perico, a little bit safer, not exactly the safest, but a little bit safer.
Is that what the new
nowadays,
island's
though.
gonna be called?
That's like the GTA 5 DLC island.
Nice,
like the
nice.
second
Yeah,
island.
the
I love it.
popular
DLC.
island.
Yeah.
Did you get that emote finished? The emote?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that as soon as we finish. I have I just need to put some finishing touches on it. I'll get it
I
to you.
want to put that on, but Twitch like ate it. It like garbled it. So
Yeah,
I couldn't.
I'll fix it. It'll be super easy for me.
Since we are approaching the end, I want to say that, hold on, my alarm's going off. Dafront, whatever you want to go by. I love you. I love you to death, man. Every time I interact with you in game, amazing. It's so good. I look forward to seeing you. It's just like you've I don't know if maybe you do know. Maybe you do, but I think it's worth saying that you have done so much for this server, and it goes a long way. It really does. You've inspired people to try new things with, EMS. I know you were inspired yourself by people like Penta to try new things, but you are the Penta for a lot of people, right? Like you are the person who is inspiring people to do something a little different, to not be a robot, to strive to not be a mechanic. And then even beyond that, beyond just EMS work, to be an interesting character. People like Artie Emma, who literally you managed to come on the scene, and I think it was one of the first characters I had ever seen that was playing as had missing limbs, right? And it's so easy because there's just invisible arms. They're literally your arms are still there, but they're invisible, and you were just role playing as having no arm. Blew my mind right away, and I was just enthralled by that character as well. And so just thank you, man. Like you've inspired me as well to be more creative with my role play. So
Yeah, dude,
thank you.
Derpfront, when any character I'm on, if I see your character, dude, I get so excited. And there's not a ton of characters that happens for, right? When I see Riv in game, I'm like, oh shit, anything could happen. This could be just like a hi, how's it going? I get like positive emotional feedback from seeing your character, and then like I feel like I've been like Pavlov's dogged into like feeling joy when you're around, dude. You genuinely make people happier in the server, and I think that's a super rare thing. I think a lot of people can elicit a lot of emotions, but I think joy like that just oozing out of you, dude. We're so lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Do you stream? Do you stream at all?
You should.
Very rarely.
Dude, you
should.
should.
It's like clicky keyboard.
It's fine.
Everyone
Nobody
can hear it when I
cares.
talk.
Nobody cares,
It's so
dude.
annoying.
Nobody
I want
cares.
like perfection when I do
No.
that shit.
Have you ever
Nobody
heard the
cares.
saying, don't let perfection be the enemy of good?
No.
Don't try making everything perfect. Dude, just stream. People will love you. They will give you money, and then you can get a quieter keyboard.
Yeah. Well, this is something I always tell people about streaming is like, you don't need the best stuff. You don't need the most amazing setup. When I first started, I had a shitty computer. The game I was playing ran at 15 frames per second, but I had 250 viewers watching me play it, right? I had a shitty keyboard. I had a 720p face cam. Like it was budget to the max. And there's nothing wrong with that. People will eat that up because it's not.
I would watch you. I
setup.
would come watch you play. I would like find time while I was on break at work to watch you play, because I get so much out of your character. I think it'd be so fun. And I think you have this podcast has kind of shown that you have a really great personality, not just in the server. I think especially after people see this, they're going to want to see you stream. This is like, I think you could really like do something streaming. I think you could genuinely be a very successful NoPixel streamer, and I don't think everybody can.
Secrets coming out. The whole reason we brought you on this show. Everyone, go check out twitch.tv/Derpfront. That's right. Live today on Twitch. Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
You'll see. But go follow him anyway, you know? Give him the follow. He deserves it.
Wait, I want to say one quick thing. Last week they told me to stream. I started streaming. They psyched me out of negative headspace. Once you start and you get into that rhythm and you get comfortable, then it's you're coasting from there.
Dude, you've been streaming, like you've been having like starting your stream with like 40 people.
I don't even look at viewers.
Yeah, dude, you've been popping
keep my
off.
eye
People love your character, and sometimes they just love to hate him. But your chat is like really clean and smooth and active all the time. I wanted to talk about a thing real quick before we finish, because we should finish. Do you guys know about /award?
Yes. I've used it on some of the lifers quite a bit. So a lot of those
I'm
guys
gonna start.
deserve prio.
If I don't do 2 /awards in a stream, I'm gonna feel bad from now on. I think that we should really start hammering /awards. I think that people deserve to get prio. I think it's been long enough that a lot of these people deserve prio and they keep not getting it. So I'm gonna start hammering. Like I'm gonna do /awards for the same character for different interactions if they're doing well.
Yeah.
Maybe not the same day so the admins don't scream at me, but
Right.
I'm gonna really work on this, because there are a lot of people.
Curious how it works, because I have awarded so many lifers who are still just stuck doing their prison stuff because they can't, they don't have prio. They can't get out of the prison very often, or at least not like within their time frame or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bane still doesn't have prio too.
That's crazy to me.
Sucks.
That is
Dude,
so crazy.
He's so crazy. He's so insane. What a great guys, go follow is it Mr. Time on?
Yeah, it's Mr.
I'm with
Time.
3 E's, Mr. Time, 3 E's, E.
Let me find it real quick.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Mr. Time with 3 E's on NoPixel, dude. Go follow this guy. He's so incredible. What a great RPer, and what a great guy too.
A lot of the ones in the pack are all really, really good role players. Marty's great, and it hurts that that's kind of getting overlooked in a sense. And I mean, maybe it isn't. Maybe they, I don't know. I'm not an admin. I'm just the guy who puts in awards for him pretty much every time I see him.
Dafront?
On Moosebeard, I've gone to like riots, and I'll walk up to him, and it's just because I'm not always on my Littleman character, right? But I'll walk up to him and be like, "Hey King, you dropped this," and I'll just do /me +1 and kind of hand it to him, right? Just saying like, dude, I just awarded you just like, chill.
Yeah.
Please.
Fuck yeah. Well, hey, great show, boys. Let's call it a show. Derpfront, thanks so much for being our first guest. Derpfront actually filled in for us for some scumbag who canceled on us last second. They're not important.
I think we made the better choice anyway. That guy's not all that interesting.
Just kidding. It's Miles. We'll get him next week. But Derpfront, thank you so much, dude. We really appreciate you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Any last words? Do you want to plug anything before we cut it off here?
No, I'm good. Just have fucking fun.
Hell yeah,
Too
man.
modest.
Dude, I'd love to
Good
have you back on the
Canadian boy,
show
too
another time. So thanks for watching, everybody. Yespixel episode 2.